Hello everyone, this is Gabby, and today I wanted to talk to everyone about another spiritual symptom, an awakening, an ascension symptom. I wanted to touch base on anxiety. Yesterday I talked a little bit about fatigue, and today I want to talk about anxiety. I know my focus, my intent is to talk to people about their spiritual awakening and guide them through a spiritual awakening, their ascension symptom, and other spiritual guidance and questions that people may have. And I know that I get wicked bad anxiety when I'm thinking about what subject am I going to touch base on tomorrow, and I start to panic and think to myself, oh my God, what can I come up with? What can I talk about? How can I articulate it so people can understand me? So that's where I'm at today. I'm having a little bit of an anxiety, so just bear with me. So yeah, I wanted to talk today about anxiety. And anxiety in general, especially social anxiety, is so common among people who are experiencing a spiritual awakening. I know that when I started to wake up, I think I've always been spiritually aware, even as a child, but I don't know, I guess, I created a block over the years, and at some point in my life I just was no longer aware because I thought it was weird. I thought people would think I was weird if I was weird if I was aware. So I kind of just stopped being so aware. Through the awakening process in 2011, it's about 2011, when I started to actually wake up and started to have all these like crazy symptoms, was about 2011. And one of them was social anxiety. My husband sings for a living, and I manage my husband, and I do a lot of social promoting, marketing, even in my job, not in the music industry, even in my job, I worked in real estate, property management, and showing apartments, talking to prospective renters, collecting rents, just being a social person, being in sales is a trigger to provoke anxiety if you are a person that struggles with anxiety on an everyday basis like I do. So I have not totally overcome my anxiety, but I have overcome a majority of having these anxiety attacks. And today I want to talk to you more about anxiety and teach you how you can overcome and control anxiety when it just springs itself upon you. I want to help you and teach you about how and why, and understand the sources of anxiety. Then you can learn to get rid of it. Here are a few reasons that you may have anxiety. And one reason for your anxiety is it's not yours. Today I am going to teach you how to overcome anxiety and help you understand how and why you may have it. One reason is the anxiety is probably not even yours. You are absorbing from everybody else. We live in a very social world, especially if you live in big cities. Maybe you take the train or the bus, or you're just out in public, or you work in a very public place. You are absorbing the energies of the people around us. And generally the normal person, tons of people, the normal majority of people are very anxious, and they have a lot of anxiety. They're in a rush, they're stressed, they're anxious. So now that you are opening up and you are becoming an aware, conscious being, you are absorbing their energies. You are absorbing their stress, which is creating anxiety for you. You are sensing people's energetic states, and the anxiety that you are experiencing is theirs. It's not even yours. Crazy, right? Yeah. On a day-to-day basis, we are immersed in other people's energy bubbles, their aura bubbles. You know, there's that, I think it's like the 3-foot rule, you know, the space bubble. You're in my space bubble. Can you back up, please? Well, I can see why, because it starts to tap in to your aura. And when you tap into somebody's aura, you start to affect them physically and mentally, especially if you're a person that's just waking up to this mass collective that's waking up and you are experiencing all of these strange symptoms for the first time. It could really, really be very overwhelming for you. And it could really, it's because your empathy is waking up. It's activating your empathy. You're empathic. You are an empathic being. We all are. Every single one of us are. Some of us, we just don't even know it. Some of us are not even aware of it. We just live our lives thinking, you know, if we're angry, that's just who we are. If we're sad, that's just who you are. If you're stressed out all the time, that's who you are. But that's not who you are. That's what's going on with you. Who you are is love. You're not an emotion. You are, well, you are an emotion because love is an emotion, but you are not, you're not sadness. Sadness does not make you who you are. You are not anxious. Being anxious does not make that who you are. In a 3D dimension, it does. In this world, in this realm, in the 3D realm, it absolutely makes sense for the 3D person. But in the 5D realm, being anxious and sad and lonely, that is what you're feeling, but that's not who you are. Do you understand? I'm trying to articulate this in a way to help you understand. I mean, you are love. Your being is love, your soul is love, your essence is love. But when you're sad, that doesn't change who you are. It's just what you are at this moment. You are sad. When you're anxious, that doesn't change who you are. It just, that's what you're expressing at this moment. That's what you are at this moment, but that's not who you are. Does that make sense to you? I'm trying to help make this make sense. Some of your deep, deep, deep unconsciousness, your sleeping self, will start to become aware and open up. As you become aware, your conscious will start to become aware. As you become aware and as you become conscious of what is making you so anxious, you will start to have these little epiphanies, these memories, these strange memories just floating around in your deep unconsciousness that start to surface as you start to become a conscious being. And this stems from your childhood. That is the second reason why you may have some anxiety issues in your life. It comes from your childhood. It comes from your parents. It's been imprinted in you since you were born. You've absorbed your family's anxiety, stress, anger, sadness since you were a child and as you grow up. And some of these things that you've absorbed, you've taken them on, and that's who you've become, but that's not who you are. Does that make sense? Am I helping you? Is it starting to make sense now? Okay. So let me see. So childhood incidents can have a very big impact on you because there is an emotional surge or an emotional reaction to perhaps an incident that was not a big deal for you, but it was a big deal for you emotionally. So some of this anxiety that you may be having now as an adult goes way back from when you were a child, and it has impacted you emotionally. Maybe back then you really didn't think of it and you kind of just were like, well, you know, what, not a big deal, or you just didn't even think twice about it. But emotionally inside, you were kind of like hurt, and it was kind of like you had a little feeling inside of you that was like, well, the hell, what's wrong with that person, you know? So it has impacted you, and you've carried that all your life, all the way up to being an adult, and just like random little things will trigger you, and you don't even know that they're triggering you. They just trigger you. Like, for instance, I want to share a story. I didn't even really think much of it. The story I'm about to share with you. When I was a child, we really didn't have a lot of family time. My parents divorced when I was 10, and I really don't remember having a lot of family time. The family times that we did have were during the holidays, when we sat down with other family and we became a family, or maybe like birthdays or something. But I mean, I grew up in a nice family, but we weren't like a close family. I didn't share emotions. I was not able to openly talk to anybody in my family. I wasn't able to express myself. So like growing up, I've kind of always just been in person, emotionless, I guess. Like when something tragically happened or sad happened, you know, I see people embrace each other with like a hug, or they would cry with somebody else, or I don't know, like try to comfort them. Me, I'm not a hugger, and when somebody would try to hug me, I'm like, oh my God, what's wrong with that person? Why are you hugging me? I'm so crazy. I'm not a hugger. Well, I'm not sensitive like that. Or when I see somebody that would cry in front of other people, I'm like, oh my God, they are so weak. Why are they crying? You would never catch me cry in front of you. I would never cry watching a sad show on TV. I would never, at a funeral, I would hold back and wait until I was alone to cry. Instead of hugging a person, I would hug my cat or stuffed animal or the horse, my horse. When I was little, I used to go horseback riding. And I would wait until I would go to the farm to talk to the horse out in the field by myself and just be comforted by an animal. Or I would talk to the sky, I would talk to the stars, I would talk to the moon. And I was the weird one. I didn't have a lot of friends. The friends that I did have, they were weird like me, and they understood me, and they accepted me for who I was. And that was that. But it wasn't like that social popular girl in school that had a lot of friends. I wasn't emotional. I didn't have any emotion. So as I grew up, it was hard for me to have relationships, even with my children. I see other parents, they embrace their children, and you know, they acknowledge them and tell them that they did such a great job and show a lot of affection with them. And I thought to myself, wow, I'm a bad mom. You know, I really don't show my kids any affection. And then when I would try to show them affection, it just felt weird, felt wrong. Like I was just doing it because I see other people do it. It was like fake. And then when I was dating, you know, even having a boyfriend, like to be cuddled, I was like, you're in my space bubble, back it up. I'm not a cuddler, you know? And I guess guys like to cuddle. I lost a lot of boyfriends. I wasn't a person that liked to share my emotion. Making this video with you right now and telling you the story is making me blush. I don't know if you could tell, but my cheeks are starting to turn red. I still have a little bit of a problem sharing. Sharing has always been an issue. And that's because when I grew up, I didn't come from a family that showed a lot of affection, a lot of sharing and caring. We were just living and surviving, and you know, we had morals and all that stuff, but we were not really the sharing, caring, emotional, supportive family, I guess. And that's okay. You know, I turned out to be okay, I guess. But as I grew up and I became aware, it also affected me when I would work, because, you know, if you have an issue at work, how do you approach your boss and tell your boss about the issue you're having? Because, you know, when I was a child, I kind of solved everything with anger or being like stubborn. Like if I didn't get my own way, I'd walk away or run away. And I really just didn't know how to talk things out. So it affected me in so many different places in my life that it became one of the triggers that triggered my anxiety. And when I recently found this out, I like had that aha moment. I was like, whoa, wow, I understand. That's why I'm having this anxiety attack. I'm trying to have a moment here and embrace, like, my husband going through a time of need, or my child, or maybe I needed embracing. Whatever the situation may be, it was something that had to do with emotion, family, and some of those things were triggers to my anxiety. Work, when I had an issue, it's like I didn't know how to really deal with it without doing it my childish way. And when I started to realize it, I started to embrace it. So when I started to embrace it, I started to live it. So anytime that a little mini attack would come on, I would ask myself, okay, take a deep breath. Why is this happening to me? Why me? Why now? What's going on? And I would try to evaluate the situation, and I would understand it. And it was like, whoa, I get it. Oh, it's a trigger. And then I would realign myself and work through what I was going through, and bam, the anxiety took on another direction. It didn't even hit me. And I've been working on that ever since, and it's been working. I've been realigning myself, reevaluating myself, and the anxiety, gone. Not completely gone. I still have my issues. I still have things to work out, but I am 100% better than I was a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. I'm so much better. So yeah, anyways, that was just an example that I wanted to share with you to kind of help you understand. And that was the best way that I knew how to help you understand, by opening up and sharing something with you that was kind of personal. Yeah, so you kind of get where I'm going with this. Yeah, these small little things, you'll start to become aware as you wake up, as you awaken, your consciousness starts to expand. Talk it out, write. I started journaling. I just started to work on myself spiritually. It just seemed like the right thing to do for me, was to open up and to be real with myself. I can't be real with you and embrace you and care about you if I'm not real with myself, and I don't look deep within myself and embrace myself and understand emotion, you know? So yeah, that's that. Now that I'm more consciously aware, I can understand. The answers have always been there for me. I just never looked deep enough. And they've always been floating around in my deep unconscious mind. But as I started to wake up, as I started to become conscious, as I started to expand my consciousness, my awareness started to widen, open, brighten, and things have just started to make more sense. They've allowed me to be able to realign myself and balance myself. Now I find it simple and easy to have these little realizations when I'm going through something and feeling like an anxiety attack is upon me, and then I have this like little realization in my brain, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Okay, that's what I'm having. That's why I'm going through the situation. Oh, the sun is bright. It's a message. It's really a great essential shift to understand, you know, instead of feeling like you're a victim and feeling like you have to defend yourself, defend your honor, defend who you are and why you're having this. Just say to yourself, you know, I understand. I'm going through this because, or ask yourself why, and wait for it to come to you. It will come to you, instead of saying, oh my God, I can't believe I did it again. Oh, I'm so stupid. Oh, I'm such a screw up. Oh, I'm just an idiot. Instead of putting yourself down, take a deep breath and ask yourself why, and it will come to you. You know, that victimizing mentality is really awful for you. Very, very bad for you. It's actually what will bring on more anxiety. If you're already having an anxiety attack and you're having the mind of why me, being defensive and being the victim, it's going to increase the anxiety that you're already having, and you're going to go full-blown anxiety attack. And that's really just no fun at all. It really does feel like you're having a heart attack. When you change your thought patterns and you ask yourself why, it will actually change your energy. It will shift your energy, and it will shift you into a new alignment, and you'll see a new perspective of yourself. You kind of like balance yourself out, and all you have to do is ask yourself why. It will align you with solutions. So yeah, your anxiety is a blessing. Honestly, think about it. Try to see the positive. That's my new motto, is try to see the positive in a negative. Always try to see the positive in a negative. And I seen the positive in having an anxiety attack. It's a blessing. Honestly, it's a blessing, because it's a message. Your anxiety is a blessing. It's providing you with little clues as energetic misalignments are keeping you from raising your vibration. You don't want to lower your vibration. You want to keep your vibration high. Keep yourself positive. Keep yourself happy. Keep yourself in the love. Keep yourself in the light. You don't want to lower your vibration. It makes you ugly. It makes you sick. It makes you sad. It makes you unhappy. You don't want that. It makes you unlucky. Raise your vibration. Raise it. You'll feel like love. You'll feel brand new. If you live your life in the light, you will live in the Christ light. You will be a crystalline being, not that carbon-based being. A lot of people are on this ascension process from this 3D world, this 3D realm, and they're raising their vibration to the 4 and 5 and, higher vibrations, and they're becoming crystalline beings. I mentioned yesterday, the earth is raising her vibration, therefore you are raising your vibration. Whether you know it or not, you are still raising your vibration. Some of you are embracing it because you know it. Some of you don't even know what's going on or what's happening to you. That's why I'm doing this video, to help you out. So if you stumbled across this video, it's because it was meant for you. You are on this journey, this path. This is your destiny to wake up. Okay, you must be struggling with anxiety. You're struggling with these ascension symptoms, these awakening symptoms. They are harsh. They're not nice. They lower your vibration. They're not meant to lower your vibration. They're meant to be a learning tool, a learning curve to help you wake up, to raise your vibration, to become aware. So you have to find the message in everything in your life that is negative, because there is always a positive when there's a negative. So once you awaken fully and successfully, you will no longer experience anxiety ever again. Your soul will never experience anxiety ever again in your life. Ever. Only you do. Your false self will only experience anxiety, not your soul. Only you. Use anxiety for what it is. It's a messenger. It's a messenger to help you heal yourself. So embrace it. Once you embrace it and you wake up and you become aware consciously, you will see the awesome that you truly are. All right, everyone, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. Make sure you watch some of my other videos. And tomorrow I will try my hardest to do another video on another ascension symptom. Love and light.